Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Ram. Ram 1500 is Motor Trend's 2014 Truck of the Year and first ever back-to-back champion. By Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. And by Meijer. Find low prices on everything your family needs at Meijer.
Back here in Buffalo, Red Wings and Sabres coming up on a late Sunday afternoon. We're glad you're along with us. John Keating, you'll hear from Ken Daniels and Chris Osgood again in a matter of moments. Quick turnaround for the Sabres, who played last night in Pittsburgh. They were helped by the time change, picking up an hour as they get set to play an earlier start time here at home for them today. Now our player fact brought to you by Motor City Casino Hotel. You heard from Darren Helm in the pregame show. He'll start on a line with a returning Johan Franzen and Gus Nyquist. And Buffalo will be aware of Helm, who is his own story of returning. He's got a 4-game goal streak versus Buffalo. He's a +2 in that stretch, winning most of his faceoffs in the process. The Red Wings have won 2 straight. The Sabres have won 2. All season long. It's their first meeting of the year. We'll send it upstairs from downstairs to Ken Daniels and Chris Osgood. Gentlemen.
Thank you, John. Hello again, everybody. A place where the Red Wings have won their last 4 get-togethers here at the First Niagara Center in Buffalo. Our goaltenders are brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Jimmy Howard, 28 saves Friday, and the biggest came on his 18th career penalty shot he's faced on Dustin Brown of LA. And Michael Neuvert, the former Plymouth Whaler and Washington Capital, who was acquired from the Caps last March, makes his 5th start. Pavel Datsyuk on that roll, who missed the first 5 games. He has points in all 5 since, and it's his best point streak to start a season in his career. Datsyuk at center, Zetterberg on the left, Abdelkader on the right, Kronwall and Eriksson on the back end. The Sabres counter with Molson, Girgensons, Gionta, Myers, and Georges on defense. Tyler Myers and Josh Georges on the back end for Buffalo. As the Sabres will shoot it back in, and Howard will leave it there for Eriksson. This building has been fairly quiet this season, and by looking at the Sabres record, you can certainly understand why. They have not had much to cheer about, and Buffalo 0-4-1 on home ice. They're 2-5 away from here. Brendan Smith put one ahead for Johan Franzen, who went down, making his return to the lineup. He's been out since October 17th at Toronto, missing the past 6 games. He had 2 goals before he left that game. Fired around back to the line. As the Sabres keep it in, Mazzaros, his shot went wide of the goal. He's back in the lineup tonight. On defense there with Rasmus Ristolainen. Good young defenseman. First-round pick from a year ago. Knocked down with a high stick, and the face-off will come outside the Red Wing blue line, as there's Ted Nolan, now in his 4th season, following his 2nd stint with Buffalo. Also coached with the Islanders for a little bit.
Yeah, and if anything with Ted Nolan, Ken, is his teams are going to work hard. This morning he was speaking of his Buffalo Sabres maybe not working as hard as he would like, and the one thing they have to do to even be successful is they got to continue to have that high work ethic while they're playing tonight.
Teddy Nolan, a former 5th-round pick of the Red Wings back in '78. Played with Detroit in the early '80s, played 20 games and had 20 points. He'd like someone on his team to put up a point-per-game number on this squad. Wouldn't be too bad. Yurko will shoot one in out there with Riley Shane and Thomas Tatar. As the puck goes off to the corners, Tatar went to chase it down in there with Nikita Zadorov, another former 1st-round pick of Buffalo, 16th overall from a year ago. So a young Sabres defense brought on there by Chris Stewart, number 80 out there for Buffalo, along with 19, Cody Hodgson, who brings it in, and offside are the Sabres. Well, word came out today from the National Hockey League. Jordan Nolan of Los Angeles, number 71, gets 2 games suspended for that hit on Darren Helm, and you must have loved the way that Jonathan Eriksson came in.
I love that when I seen that right away. That's what Jonathan Eriksson needs to do. The LA Kings were coming back at that time, pushing the Red Wings around a little bit. Eriksson stood up for his teammates. Great job.
Well, good on the National Hockey League, Stefan Quintal and Patrick Burke and company for clamping down on these hits from behind and hits to the head and suspending players. I wish they'd do a little longer, perhaps, but Jordan Nolan, Ted's son, gets 2 games for the hit.
And you have to imagine that was an easy call for them to make. No, he left his feet a little bit, but his elbow was up high, targeting the head area.
Backhanded in by Buffalo, retreating to get it, goes to Kaiser. Chased by Brian Flynn's number 65 counterpart. Back to the point. The shot goes off a leg into the corner. It's Buffalo's Nicolas Deslauriers, number 44, out there along with Flynn. Flynn put it back into the middle for Cody McCormick. In his second stint with Buffalo as the shot came in on Howard and tipped and just over top of the goal. Hard hit by Deslauriers onto Miller, and then another hit put on there by McCormick. Interesting that Mike Weber, a Sabres defenseman who's a healthy scratch tonight, was saying after their loss last night in Pittsburgh, there's not enough anger on this team, not enough intensity. We have to go down swinging if we're going down, and we haven't been that as a team yet. So the Sabres need to find their identity, Chris, and they haven't been able to get it, and that's why they've stumbled this season.
Well, you look at their lineup, Ken, they have some good players in this lineup. Stafford, Ennis, Molson, Hudson, Stewart, they have some guys that can play. The record 2-9 is unacceptable. They have a lot better team than that. They're just playing like they're expecting to lose. They got to play with that confidence, and right now they're actually taking the play. The Red Wings a little bit too loose for my liking early here.
Marcus Foligno scratched tonight for Buffalo, although they say he's got a minor injury, and he's got 2 of their 12 goals on the season, as that is stopped there by Neuvert. Buffalo scored 13 in all, but one of those came in a shootout. One of their 2 victories on the year for the Sabres. They won at San Jose and beat Carolina in a shootout. Their goaltending has been terrific. You can't blame Neuvert for the way that he has played this year, certainly.
No, not at all. When you have a 9-10 Sabres and a 9-08 for Enroth and a 326, 334 goals against average, that tells me they're seeing a ton of rubber and they're stopping most of them.
And the guy who's the backup tonight, you just saw there, Jonas Enroth, the last 11 games he's played for Buffalo, 3 last year and this year, the Sabres have scored a total of 11 goals.
Oh, watch that game last night against Pittsburgh. He didn't have much of a chance on a lot of those. Just battling for his life in there. He's under siege the entire night, so he's got to keep up that fight.
Yeah, it was tough. Shutout last night for the 5th time this season. Marc-Andre Fleury's been on a shutout roll of late, but beat Buffalo 5-0. Neither team skated this morning, what with the earlier start here this afternoon. Puck is kept in by Torrey Mitchell. He's been one of the better Sabres, number 17. As the puck goes down, no icing, so Neuvert will set it up back there, and the Red Wings will get a change going. Tatar comes back out with Yurko and Sheahan. Passed into the middle, was knocked away, and Tatar trying to get away. He got slashed at. He keeps on going, and then a good play by Mazzaros at the Buffalo line to knock it away. Ristolainen moves one back around for Mazzaros, who spent last season with Boston and Philadelphia. Ristolainen, number 55 there, is 6'4". 8th overall pick in 2013. On the right wing for Cody Hodgson. Hodgson makes a move around Tatar. Drops one back to Stewart and hit the goalpost. Up and out of play, and the faceoff will stay in the Detroit zone. So Chris Stewart still one of those Sabres. Chris looking for his first goal of the season.
Yeah, and he's got a very good shot. Quick snapshot off the crossbar. Jimmy Howard in good position out of the blue, though. But Rovers got to be careful here when the team gets beat 5-0 night before. These guys are professionals. When we get embarrassed like that, you're going to be ready to play the next night. And right now, the Buffalo Sabres are outplaying the Detroit Red Wings. They got to tighten up, start playing with some speed like they did against Pittsburgh. That made them successful. Start skating, start moving the feet.
Do you have a tendency in that room to take a team that's been so down like Buffalo lightly? You don't want to, but do you?
For sure you do, but you're constantly talking how you can't take them lightly, and you got to be ready. You got to be ready to go. And this is a setup game, coming off a huge win against the Los Angeles Kings, the Stanley Cup champions. And you come into Buffalo against a team that their numbers are struggling in everywhere. You got to be ready to go. You got to take the play to them. Don't give them any life.
The Red Wings kicking off a stretch here, 3 games in 4 nights. Ottawa Tuesday, and New York meet the Rangers, who are hobbled on the back end with a ton of injuries on Wednesday night. Turning with it there is Nikita Zadorov, who fed one off, and coming through Tyson Strachan. Knocked away by Kindle, out there with Lashoff, making his return to the Red Wing lineup. Lashoff with the puck now, in for Kyle Quincy, who's day-to-day with an ankle injury. It's good to see Lashoff get some time. He's been working hard to be ready for just this occasion, as Zetterberg brings it in with Abdelkader and Datsyuk. Puck's knocked down by Josh Georges, one of the best shot blockers in the league. Zetterberg just missed a shot. Just sent it wide. The team leader in shots on goal as he is annually. Zetterberg's got it again. Getting it back to the line to Lashoff. Sent one toward the goal. Hit a body in front. Zetterberg fed one back. Datsuk, great deke in, and it hit a body again before it got through to Neuvert. Some good work by this Red Wing top unit here, looking for the first goal of this game. Buffalo with 3 shots so far, the Red Wings with 2, and some near misses just right there. McCormick just lifts one out to center. Lashoff able to knock it down. Quickly back. Tipped through by Abdelkader, and both teams will make
Great
changes.
shift there by the Red Wings. That's exactly what they needed. Buffalo Sabres were skating well early. Datsuk and Zetterberg have a fabulous shift, keeping the Buffalo Sabres pin in his own. Momentum, Red Wings.
Gergensons hit the side of the net. De Kaiser will bring it ahead for Darren Helm. Helm with a little room on the right wing, puts on the brakes, sent one through to Nyquist. Gus Nyquist put it in back of the goal. Nyquist with 7 goals in the season. Couple of power play goals 2 nights ago. 4 on the season for him in the power play department. Nyquist tried to get a shot on goal, couldn't. Not for a lack of effort though. That's past Brendan Smith. This could be icing, and it will be face-off back in the Sabres zone.
2 great chances here by the Red Wings. Henrik Zetterberg going stick side on the Buffalo goaltender, who's known to have a weaker stick side, just missing there to put the Red Wings up 1 here. Datsuk, the magic again. Nice move. Sabres getting their stick in there last second. Tyler Myers making a nice play. But Ken, going back to what you said about what you think about playing, when they come in to play the Sabres, maybe you become a little bit too cute when you're playing a team that's been struggling. You got to keep it simple. Keep to your game plan that's made you successful so far this season.
Yurko, Tatar, and Shan for the Red Wings. Right wing side for Brian Gionta, the Sabres captain. Spent the last 4 seasons as captain in Montreal. Signed as an unrestricted free agent. The Red Wings will regroup here and set up. Kronwall directs traffic as Eriksson feeds one ahead. Sabres in the midst of a change as Sheahan got it over to Tatar. Back in where Sheahan's heading, and he's got it. Sheahan protects that puck along the near wall. Threw one back in behind for Thomas Yurko. Yurko overskated. Then Tatar came in, second man to regroup. Now the Sabres, Tyler Ennis has it. Ennis, who leads the team with 4 goals. The diminutive center comes through the middle. Gets one in across the line to Stafford. Drops it back here to Mitchell. Now to Stafford to Mitchell again, and he missed that. The lift to the stick by De Kaiser. And Smith plays one up. The Red Wings will go for a change, and Yurko gets it in the rest of the way. Back to pick it up, Tyson Strachan. A defensive defenseman, played 4 seasons with Ohio State. Cody Hodgson into the Red Wing zone. Hodgson, who was acquired from Vancouver for Zach Kassian. Moved ahead here to Luke Glendening. With Joachim Anderson and Drew Miller. As this 4th line stays together game after game for the Red Wings, has been so solid. Andre Mazzaros to this side. Ristolainen. Shot in, and Datsuk now as the Red Wings get a quick change as Mike Babcock counters what Ted Nolan's attempting and brings it in, does Datsuk. Datsuk finds some space. Put it off Neuvert. Tried to slide one in off from the short side. That didn't work. We'll return to Buffalo in a moment, and a goalless first period on Fox Sports Detroit.
Well, in a scoreless draw here in Buffalo, 9 minutes in, 0s. Big reason for that so far. Detroit's defense has been great all season. Brendan Smith, great pass up the ice to the forwards and along. Eriksson, great pass as well. The Red Wings defense has been great all year. And De Kaiser with a great outlet pass here to Darren Helm. And this is what they've improved on so much from last year, is their first passes out of the zone have been so good this year, and has enabled them to be better offensively. The young defensemen from the Red Wings have been great all season.
Datsuk won that draw and then got the puck back, but taken to the boards by Zemgus Girgensons. Datsuk came up with the puck though, put it into the middle. Gionta was there to safely play it up the boards, but the Red Wings hold it in. Datsuk with a couple of efforts on that puck, and now Detroit is to regroup. Zetterberg fed it over Datsuk's way. A return pass to the Red Wing captain. Kronwall now. 2 goals and 8 points in the season for Kronwall. Datsuk to Abdelkader, and the shot sailed wide of the goal. What a start that Abdelkader's off to with 5 goals already. Datsuk turns inside the line, back into Zetterberg, just missed him with it. Datsuk has to go back to retrieve it. Abdelkader with 5 goals in the season on 26 shots, second to only Henrik Zetterberg so far this season. Long pass skipped down as Helm goes back to get it. Helm out there with Franzen and Nyquist. Helm to Nyquist. Shot over top of the goal. Franzen couldn't catch up to it. On the right wing is Mitchell. That went over the stick of Brendan Smith as Drew Stafford's in there to get it. Shot saved by Howard. Big rebound to Tyler Ennis. Ennis took the shot, and that went off a leg and up high and out of play. Past the halfway point of the first. Back in a moment.
Johan Franzen, last game he played in Toronto, 2 goals. 2 goals by Franzen, and here, injured on the second one. Great play by Henrik Zetterberg with Franzen, who's been out since. To welcome back the big guy tonight. He's back in the lineup. Got involved early. A couple of body checks early using that big body of his, but 5 points in the 4 games that he has played up until this point. He's been very good for the Red Wings so far this season.
Turning back to get it. Zadorov. Zadorov skating it out of trouble. Nikita Zadorov, 6'5" defender. Boy, the Sabres got some big size back there with Ristolainen, Zadorov, and Myers, who's 6'8". Good pressure here by Detroit, but there's a penalty upcoming. Referee Graham Skilleter making the call, working the game with Chris Lee. It'll be Sabres' Tyson Strachan will be going to the box, so the Red Wings will head to a Bell Tire power play.
And the fourth line doing a good job for the Red Wings again. Good forechecking. These guys have done it all year long. Played very well, but Miller great on the forecheck here. Gets body position, and that's an obvious call for the referee to make. Sabres player wrapping that left arm around Miller. An easy call. Red Wings on the power play.
That is 5 for 39 in the season. 2 power play goals against LA. Nyquist has 4 of the power play goals. Datsuk has the other one. They're both out there now, along with Zetterberg and Abdelkader. And Kronwall, the lone defenseman. Datsuk puts one over to Abdelkader.
I'm inside.
Brought back in by Datsuk for Nyquist. And sent back down the ice.
Well, 2 good thoughts here by the Red Wings. One off the draw, a great face-off win. Missed shot by Zetterberg, and then opportunity off the rush. But you can really see how the Red Wings are trying to attack the Buffalo Sabres goal right away. They're not waiting around for the Sabres to set up that box. They're attacking the goal and trying to cause some chaos there.
Toyota Dealers brings you the scouting report on Brian Lashoff, who played 75 games last season. He was strong on the penalty kill. Good effort on that draw to get it back to the line by Yurko. Sheahan. Back here for DeKeyser and Tatar. Setting up in front is Franzen. With his big body to screen Neuvirth. Yurko across. Great setup, and Tatar sent it wide. Red Wings move that puck well right there. Josh Georges will send Detroit down the ice.
Red Wings did everything there, but put the puck in the net. Great puck movement. Beautiful passing. You could tell they're already thinking about where that puck was moving next. Very, very good puck movement by the Red Wings. It's too bad they didn't find the net on that.
Yurko back to DeKeyser. Tap back to him again. Near side Yurko. Stick just snapped on him. Right in half. That allowed Girgensons to get it down the ice. So an unfortunate time for Yurko to have that happen.
10, 9.
Time winding down on the power play. Glendening. Great move. Picked up here by Miller. Penalty over. Played off the back of the net. Brendan Smith moved in. And the Sabres just chip it out to center. Anderson's pass was behind Glendening. took a hard hit right into the Buffalo bench from Delorier. It's the Sabres' Ristolainen. He'll dump one into Red Wing territory. Howard out to Trapezoid to leave it. Quick little play by Eriksson ahead for Pavel Datsyuk across center and in, and a bouncer that Neuvert will corral and hold on.
This is great puck movement by the Red Wings' second power play unit into the middle. A nice little pass out in the cross ice to Tatar, who misses the net wide to the stick side of the Buffalo goaltender. But the Red Wings really moving the puck quick. Tom Tatar, who has a knack for scoring some goals last year, especially 2 goals this year. He'd like to have a few more than that, Ken, but really he's been a buzzsaw around that net lately for the Red Wings.
Saying his shots third most on the team, and yet just 2 goals to show for it, but not everyone can have the shooting percentage of a Gus Nyquist. Last year and this year is even better than he was a season ago. Last year, Tatar finished second in scoring on the Red Wings behind Nyquist. Tatar at 19. So Helm is out with Franzen and Nyquist. Puck in behind Jimmy Howard to the corner. Chris Stewart sent it around. Stewart hit the crossbar earlier. Been the Sabres' best chance. Good hustle there by the speed of Helm. Then blocked out of the play by Ristolainen. Helm had to come back to him again. Hodgson threw it around to the left point. Smith is there for Detroit with a little stutter step to get past. Helm played it into the middle, and now Buffalo. Hodgson up the right wing. Cody Hodgson with plenty of room and a shot. Howard coming way out to stop that. The Red Wings just tap it to center. Helm and Nyquist. Nyquist gets it deep, a sign for the Red Wings to change with 5.5 to go in the opening period. Ken Daniels, Chris Osgood, John Keating, and our Fox Sports Detroit crew with you on this late Sunday afternoon from First Niagara Center in Buffalo. Glad you're with us. Shot goes high and over top of the net. Tended by Jimmy Howard. Back into the Sabres zone. Good pressure by Yurko. And that puck bounces rink wide about 100 feet up into the crowd and out of play. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. We're in a goalless first period. Our Flagstar Bank Star Watch, Jimmy Howard, a perfect 6-0 against the Buffalo Sabres. Sparkling save percentage of .946. Well, the Red Wings have done pretty well in Buffalo too. 8 straight wins against the Sabres and 13-1-1. Their past 15 against Buffalo anyway. Next meeting with the Sabres will be December 23rd at the Joe. The 8 consecutive wins against Buffalo, the Red Wings' longest active streak against any opponent. Advocated to Datsyuk in full flight into the Sabre zone. Datsyuk shooting. Good save there by Neuvert.
Well, great save by the Buffalo goaltender Neuvert, but more luck on that off the shaft of a stick. Datsyuk flying and has that quick snapshot up. Had him beat if it wasn't for the shaft of that goalie stick.
Zetterberg plays one back for Danny DeKeyser. So the Red Wings are changing. Anderson, Glendening, and Miller out for Detroit. Glendening chasing down Ristolainen. Second man in was Miller. Glendening still with it. Luke Glendening knocked down by Ristolainen. Now Miller tied up by Mazzaros. So Anderson came in to try to free that puck. Tyler Ennis digging for it. Anderson's got it. And Neuvert will hold on. Good pressure, Detroit. And they get a scoring opportunity out of it from this fourth line.
That was great forechecking by Drew Miller. And this is Datsyuk's chance here, blazing down the right side. And a great save by Neuvert off the shaft of his goalie stick. Those are the ones that frustrate these players in practice and shoot enough. More or less just like a clock, grandfather clock, just right off the shaft of the stick. But Drew Miller, who doesn't get judged for his points he gets, he would like to have more, but he does so many good things out there for this team. Very good forecheck by Miller, chipping that puck to Glendening with the opportunity on net. But that fourth line has been solid all year for the Red Wings.
Darren Helm and Cody Hodgson on the draw. Nyquist circling the goal with it. Tried to drop one back. Good play to recover by Lashoff. That was sent wide of the goal. As Franzen with that opportunity. Franzen, Nyquist, and Helm. Helm's got it now. The shot. Oh, Neuvirth came out to stop that. And there will be a penalty upcoming.
Yeah, Meszaros is going to go off for a trip here in the Red Wings. Really poised again in this game here. But it's a tough game to play in Buffalo. It's not a loud arena. Buffalo not playing very well this year. The Red Wings coming off a big win like we've said before. And the Red Wings, because of their forecheck, their persistence in the offensive zone, things like this are going to happen and put the Red Wings in the power play. But Franzen using his body, a quick stutter move off the boards there. Meszaros pulls him down with a stick in the Red Wings. Going on this power play looks so good the first time. Just got to get more shots, hit the net.
Penalty to number 41, Andre Meszaros. 2 minutes for tripping. Meszaros, 2 minutes for tripping at 16:39.
So the Red Wings go to their second Bell Tire power play of this game. Off the toe of Zetterberg's stick, back down, that Howard will deflect aside, and the Sabres' Cody McCormick first on it. McCormick re-signed as an unrestricted free agent by Buffalo this past July. Matt Molson also re-signed with Buffalo. Both had been traded last season. Shot just wide of the goal. Datsyuk had it set up beautifully. Kronwall with a shot that got blocked. And Tyler Myers will send it the length of the ice for Buffalo.
Well, Kronwall's, he showed some great vision this year, and once again on that pass, delayed just enough to find an open Pavel Datsyuk, who healed the puck. You don't see that very often. Usually that's in the back of the net.
Sheahan able to grab that loose puck, had it come right back to him. Sheahan good second and third efforts there as the Red Wings keeping it in at the man advantage. DeKaiser with a little fake, then got a shot to the goal that was blocked, and Girgensons will get it down the ice.
We'll give the Sabres some credit here on the penalty kill. Their defensemen have stepped up above the Detroit Red Wings forwards and are blocking shots, not letting a lot get through there. They're doing a very good job right now of not only doing that, getting pucks down right away.
And their penalty kill as the Red Wings go offside has been very good. It's at 90% at home. They've killed 18 of 20 here. They allowed 3 power play goals last night in the loss in Pittsburgh. Well, don't miss the action Friday, November 7th, when the Wings take on the Devils. That'll be their next home game. It's Military Appreciation Night, and every fan at the Joe will receive a military dog tag. For tickets, call 313-471-7575 now. Ticket executives are standing by as Zetterberg brings one into the Buffalo zone. The Sabres put it in behind. Recovered, though, by Nyquist, the high slot. Zetterberg faked the shot. Almost getting ready for a slap shot there. Datsyuk patiently waiting. Threw it in front where Abdelkader was. 5 seconds left in the Meszaros penalty. Back at center and having to go get it is Kronwall as the Sabres have killed off 2 Red Wing power plays tonight. Red Wings have outshot Buffalo 10-6. Sabres had just 18 shots on goal in their loss at Pittsburgh last night. Puck stays in Detroit territory. In fact, Buffalo had only 10 shots on goal against Toronto. Only 15 shots on goal in an overtime loss to Boston. In a 3-game period, Buffalo had only 40 shots in 3 games, and they gave up 104. And yet their record was 1-1-1. And they beat the Sharks 2-1. As you can see, just 20.9 shots a game, last in the NHL, and averaging just 1 goal a game. That is trouble. But so far, I guess, killing off 2 Detroit power plays this first period, the Sabres may think they're in pretty good shape right now.
Ken, all those numbers you just rattled off there equal one thing, and that's why they're 9-2 with only 2 wins all season. But only one guy that's playing tonight for the Sabres. Girgensons the only guy with 2 goals leading the team, and that spells trouble.
As we say, Foligno is out tonight, and he hadn't been all that strong for Buffalo, but is hurt, and he has a couple of goals, and he's not playing. Buffalo still with no goals from Molson, Gionta, or Chris Stewart, and that's a problem.
And that's a huge reason why they're off to the start they are, is when those guys aren't producing for the Sabre team, who which isn't deep in the first place, it's trouble for the entire team, and that's why they're 2-9.
They did send their second overall pick, Sam Reinhart, back to junior hockey after he had played 9 games, and that's a good thing that they did that. As the first period comes to a close, shots 10-7 Detroit, but nothing on the board. As Tatar not finished conversing yet as the period comes to its conclusion. Having some words there with Johan Larsson, making his first start of the season for Buffalo. Our Ram intermission, Jonathan Ericsson, who came to Darren Helm's aid last game, will guest with John Keating. And Justin and Darren in the studio, where we take you now. No goals in that first period of play here in Buffalo. The Red Wings and the Sabres. Well, the Buffalo Sabres will have draft picks aplenty coming up. And the sought-after number 1, will it be this man, Connor McDavid, 17 years old from Newmarket this season with the Erie Otters of the OHL, 14 games, 14 goals, 42 points. Or will it be 18-year-old Jack Eichel this season with Boston University, had spent some time the last couple of years with the U.S. National Team Development Program in Ann Arbor. I don't think you could go wrong either way. But the Sabres have the Islanders' first-round pick this June. They've got their own pick and the St. Louis Blues pick and the Ryan Miller deal and 2 second-round picks. So if Teddy Nolan is back yet for another season with Buffalo, whomever they get, whether it be McDavid or Eichel, and don't forget the way the lottery works now, Chris, you're never guaranteed one of the top 2. Your best percentage is to get it, but if they do, they'll be set up pretty well because either of those 2 are franchise players.
Come June, that's in all likelihood going to be the Buffalo Sabres' most important part of their season. A huge draft. McDavid obviously is a Sidney Crosby type difference maker, and for the Sabres to get a guy like that, Ken, would change the face of the franchise and put them back where they want to be. They want to be that playoff team when they have Dominic Hasek and then Michael Pekka. They had a lot of great players play here, and they haven't had those days for a while. And the fans here love this team. They yearn for that. If they get McDavid, that would be a game changer for them for sure.
And you mentioned Dominic Hasek. When we're back here in 2015, it'll be a night when they retire his number 39 to the rafters here in Buffalo. And the night that they play the Red Wings, as it should be that night. The Cup winner with the Red Wings. And you know, the next Cup you replaced Dom.
Dom was one of my favorite players I've ever played with. Didn't know what to expect when I first came there. Everybody was telling me these stories, but this guy, a professional, one of the hardest workers I've ever seen in practice as a goaltender, and a great guy on and off the ice, and deserving not only that, but the Hall of Fame induction as well.
For sure. So second period underway. Turning with it back there was Matt Molson. And now Abdelkader for the Red Wings, who escaped from left to right. From our broadcast advantage, set in on Neuvert by Abdelkader, and the Buffalo goaltender will hold on to that. And a reminder to stay tuned to Red Wings Live following the game, where we will select the Fox Sports Detroit Red Wings player of the game, presented by McDonald's new Fresh Baked McCafe Blueberry Muffin. Strachan went after the puck, got help there from Drew Stafford. Tyson Strachan just angled one down into Red Wing territory. Brendan Smith chased by Torrey Mitchell. And the Sabres come up with it. Mitchell threw it back into the corner. Knocked out of the air. Joachim Anderson. Ahead for Glendening. Strachan got in his path, took away his real estate. Feathered around by Zadorov for Mitchell. Lead pass, Tyler Ennis. Trying to scoot past Joachim Anderson, who took his ice away, and he's going to get a penalty for it, for interference. Wow. Anderson did best he could. His back was to him, just took a lane away, skating to the puck, and they're going to call that interference.
Well, the Red Wings already having 2 power plays, Anderson not really doing much to deserve this penalty, kind of just taking away the lane from the Ennis, the Sabres player, but really it was Ennis who grabbed Anderson's right arm to try and slingshot himself around, and then Ennis grabbed Anderson again when they got down below the goal line into the corner there. So really, to me, a penalty that was undeserving by Anderson.
I'm with you. So Georges, Ristolainen On the back end for Buffalo now with the man advantage. Sabres' first power play of this game. Cody Hodgson for Josh Georges to the left point. Ristolainen for Hodgson. Now to Brian Gionta. Down low, fed off. Gets the puck back from Hodgson in front all alone. And failing to click on that was Chris Stewart. Boy, what an opportunity. And remember, Stewart hit the crossbar in the first period. Stewart still looking for his first goal of the season. And there's been much talk about at some point this year he'll be traded as the Sabres still look to get younger. And the feeling is if Stewart goes to a contending team, he'll use that big body more to his advantage and can help a better club.
Well, the Red Wings, who have been living off being aggressive on their penalty kill this year, a little too over-aggressive there. Even the Sabre player alone in front, but Ken, 12 games, and that's what no confidence does for you right there, the Sabres. Players, they had a lot of guys with no goals, and when you have no goals and you're carrying the stick a little heavy, that happens.
Myers over here to Mazzaros into the slot, and it went wide off an attempt from Stafford. Ennis to Tyler Myers. Back to Ennis in front. Howard got a piece of that, deflects back to the line. Tyler Myers, native of Houston, Texas. Brendan Smith cleared it off Myers, and then Drew Miller the rest of the way. He was so used to coming here to play against his brother Ryan. And you mentioned Chris Stewart. He came from St. Louis with Yaroslav Halak for Ryan Miller and Steve Ott. That was Helm tripping Ennis. And Helm's going to go to the box after tripping his former teammate from Medicine Hat. For 2 seasons, 05 to 07, Darren Helm and Tyler Ennis played together. So they know one another well, but Darren Helm got too much of a hook in there on his former junior teammate.
Yeah, exactly right. 2 former Medicine Hat Tigers, and Darren Helm just getting a stick into Ennis's feet. Ennis goes down easily. Now that's a penalty. The one before to Anderson, not so much. But the Red Wings have 34 seconds of the Buffalo Sabres 2-man advantage. Important time of the game right here.
Buffalo is called timeout. So with that, we'll step out. Back with the Sabres power play in a moment. While Tony Granato, who's in charge of the penalty killing, speaking things over with Mike Babcock, his troops have their work cut out now, down 5-on-3, 34 seconds remaining in the Anderson penalty, the first of the 2. Helm just went in. So Ennis with Myers into the slot. Mazzaros down low, Stafford. Mazzaros missed it. He fanned on it.
Wow.
He'd been a healthy scratch back in the lineup tonight. Tyler Myers leads the attack to center. Puck into the corner. Anderson standing in the box waiting to come out, and now he will, as Glendening with some good work. Penalty coming here to Buffalo. That'll even it up for side. Interference now the other way to the Sabres.
Ken, this is a great job by Luke Glendening to keep his feet moving. Did a very good job in the defensive zone, killing off that 5-on-3 for the Red Wings. And after that, his persistence pays off. He kept his feet moving, chips it off the boards here. Now he doesn't sit there and watch. He gets moving. He gets on his horse. Struggle, and Molson has no choice but to get his way. Not much of a penalty, kind of like the Anderson penalty. Now, if the ref's going to call it like that, he's going to have to do it all night long. You can't leave any indecision in these players' minds. He's calling those interference penalties, but he has to keep doing it whether the players like it or not.
Boy, if they're going to do that all night long, we may have a no-touch game the rest of the night. Puck into the slot. Nearly stolen by Zetterberg. Datsuk pursues the puck. Brendan Smith stepped up on his man. Interfered with Gionta on the way down. Fans wanted another call. And they could have called that one, and that would have been probably more deserving than the 2 they've called previously, one on Detroit and one on Buffalo. Datsuk, Zetterberg overskated, but cleared it in anyway. Play is onside as Myers has it. For Gionta. Across to Georges. 2 of the key acquisitions for Buffalo in the offseason, which led many to believe they would be better than they are. Zetterberg carries. As the teams play for his side, Tyler Myers back to get it. Georges back for Myers. For Stewart. Lead pass to Tyler Ennis. His 4 goals leads the Sabres. Stewart taking down Kindle. Ennis came up with it. It's going to be a penalty here to Detroit. Ennis turning with it. Whirling back of the goal. Chased there by Lashoff. Tripping to the Red Wings. And there's the call made by Graham Skilleter.
Well, Johan Franzen's going for the trip, and Mike Babcock showing on TV, kind of looking to see what had happened. And same way for us up here, not quite sure what this is, but Johan Franzen battling in the corner, just kind of getting a stick. Now this is the third kind of ticky-tack penalty that's been called in a row here. And this is tough on the players. They're not sure what is a penalty, what isn't. You still have to be able to battle for that puck, and I always said the best games are the games where the referees let these guys play, let them fight through checks, let them battle for pucks, and so far that's just not happening here tonight. Everything's being called. It's turning into a specialty teams battle here today in Buffalo.
4-on-4 for the moment. 35 seconds remaining in the Matt Molson penalty for Buffalo. Then if nothing transpires in between, they'll head to a power play. Tatar. Up along with Sheahan. Ristolainen. In behind Andre Mazzaros. Stewart chipping one into the Red Wing zone. Big forward in there against DeKaiser. Stewart up with Hodgson for Buffalo. Tatar and Sheahan up for Detroit. Knocked down by Tatar. Tapped it past and he gets knocked down. Stolen there by Sheahan. Sheahan's right in on goal. And he couldn't bury it. And it's loose in the crease. And Miller followed up but couldn't get a good shot away. Back come the Sabres now with the power play. Their third of the game. Shot hit escape. Picked up by Glendening and sent the length of the ice. Failing to play it cleanly was Neuvert. Glendening following up. Georges and Myers tie him up. Good job by Glendening kicking at it. Look at that work. And Miller will come up with it. Back to Glendening. He was 1-on-2, and the Red Wings still in possession of that puck. Glendening not giving up on Molson. Ennis sends one deep into the Red Wing zone. Kronwall let it go the first time, then got it back, sends it to Helm and down the ice. Knocked aside by Neuvert. Helm got crunched to the end boards there by Zadorov. Drew Stafford stopped at the Red Wing line, went ring wide with it for Myers. That long reach, pumps it in. Howard slowed it down. Lashoff quickly to Smith. For Joachim Anderson. Penalty over. Franzen out of the box. Red Wing penalty killing with another good job tonight. 3 for 3. Stick in the lane, knocked down by Datsyuk. Girgensons coming in. The Latvian native tried to circle the goal with the puck. He couldn't. They score! Flynn!
Well, the Sabres, Girgensson takes this puck to the net with strength. Pavel Datsyuk all over, tries to wrap around. A good play by Smith, but the Red Wings just don't stop at the net to protect the house. Girgensson takes his puck hard in the net with the wraparound. Abdelkader and Pavel Datsyuk both need to stop there, and Flynn gets a hold of the loose puck and chips it over Jimmy Howard, who's sprawled in a prone position. But the Red Wings, who have been so strong in front of their net all season long, there, a couple of flybys cost them a goal and give the Buffalo Sabres an early lead.
Flynn getting his 13th career goal in this 109th career game. Free agent signing in 2012, Brian Flynn. So Buffalo leads 1-0. After going 5 full periods and a little bit of overtime and 7 minutes here without one. So almost 5.5 periods without a goal for Buffalo, and they finally strike.
Well, and if you're the Sabres or a fan of the Buffalo Sabres, if they don't score first, they have 0 chance of winning their own 9. So that first goal for them is big, not only from that aspect, but gives a team that has no confidence a little bit of hope and some confidence moving forward.
Their overtime loss in Boston
Flynn from Girgensons and Strachan at 6:55.
The Buffalo Sabres had scored the first goal, and then the Bruins, Brad Marchand, scored to tie it and then won it in overtime. The Red Wings will now have to do what Boston did that night, and that night Buffalo only had 15 shots on goal the entire night. They've got 9 so far this evening to the Red Wings 12. So we're just about 2 minutes away from the halfway point in this game. Flynn getting the goal, Zemgus Girgensons, and Tyson Strachan the assists at 6:55.
Well, Ken, all these penalties that have been called here in the first 9-10 minutes of the second period, what that does is there's no flow to the game. Yes, their penalty kill for the Red Wings has been great, but you see less of Pavel Datsyuk and Henrik Zetterberg in that top line just isn't out there as much as Mike Babcock would like them. And in the end, the Sabres getting the goal to go up 1-0, and kind of a slow in-the-mud game here for the first 9 minutes of the second. The Red Wings got to get skating. They got to take the play of the Buffalo Sabres here.
Yurko. So many penalties. Lines have been a little bit disjointed both ways. Tatar able to knock it out of the air for Kronwall. Sent in by Yurko. Will go for a change. Helm moves up. Hit the skate of Torrey Mitchell. Backhanded back in by Detroit. Mitchell, who came over from Minnesota. The Matt Molson deal on Cody McCormick. Well, they both left and now return to Buffalo. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
Well, welcome back to Buffalo. The Sabres up 1-0 over the Red Wings. The progression of this man right here, Brendan Smith, this year is a big reason why the Red Wings are so good early on this season. Brendan Smith here, yes, he has a giveaway, but in the years past, especially last year, he get himself out of position. Now he shows poise and he shows his maturity, stays in defensive posture, doesn't panic, doesn't start running around, plays smart, good defense like he has all year. And that's part of his progression, where before, if he made a mistake, when you think about it, it would cause another mistake. Now he's very, very good like that. More mature player this year and has been strong all season.
Drew Stafford for Buffalo. For Tyler Ennis, out along with Torrey Mitchell. To the line for Mazzaros. In for Stafford, goes off his stick. Mitchell took a stab at the puck. Stafford for Buffalo. Howard the save, and he had to make a second stop too. Sabres feeding off that opening goal in this game. They've been the better skating club tonight for the most part. Giveaway there by Detroit as Ennis able to keep it in the zone, and it's checked by Franzen. Helm will bring it out of trouble. Helm into the Buffalo zone. Getting it back to the line, Kindle skate the stick. Took a shot that went wide of the goal. And while Buffalo may have been skating better so far tonight, we'll see if that lasts through the second half of this game. Remember, they played last night. Well, it's not a long flight to Pittsburgh by any stretch. They played last night and lost 5-0 to the Penguins. So we'll see if it wears on them as this game progresses. Franzen tries to come out front, couldn't do it. Stafford, as Kindle stepped up on him, but was able to make the play to Molson. Matt Molson with it. And Howard will hold on. 9 seconds past the halfway point in this game. 1-0 Buffalo. Now time for our AT&T Ubers Rewind. Ted Lindsay scored his first NHL goal 70 years ago on this date in November.
And Ted's still looking fabulous, 89 years old. Does a ton of charity work around the Detroit area and in Michigan.
We had a blast.
Class act, guys.
We had a blast this year. You know, he worked so hard, raise money for autism research, and he's done such a wonderful job on all the money he's raised. Just wide of the goal, Miller. Kindle shot, hit Molson. Kindle stayed with it. Went off a skate of Glendening at center. The Sabres recover. Gianta for Buffalo, their captain. 19th full season captain for the Sabres in their history. Glendening just banged the puck to center. Fired right back in by Tyson Strachan. The Sabres with that goal means they've been now outscored 5-on-5 only 17 times. They've been minus 18 5-on-5 coming into the game tonight, but they got one this evening. Now the Red Wings need one of their own to get even. Datsuk. Able to make the play to Brendan Smith to Zetterberg. Covered up high. Shot didn't get through. Block. Smith over to get it. Abdelkader. Back to Datsuk. Datsuk spins to the middle. Left it there for Brendan Smith, who thought that was going to be taken by DeKeyser, who didn't take it. And then Abdelkader in to get it. For Zetterberg. Top line for Detroit, creating problems for the Sabres. Smith's shot just goes wide. Larson for Buffalo. Johan Larson met there by Zetterberg, took it away from him. Zetterberg still with it. It's like it's on a string here for the Red Wings, but can't get a shot on net. Zetterberg. Larson trying to contain him. Zetterberg using that great strength. Zetterberg still with it. Backhander just wide. Zetterberg's got it one more time. Fending off a hit, gets knocked down. Now they're just punching at him. They're so frustrated. Look at this. And the chance. Smith just wide. Myers played it ahead. Datsuk threw a big body. Boy, did he ever rock. Larson with a good hit. Abdelkader gets it in. Datsuk again. Rink wide. Shane as the Red Wings in the midst of a change. What a shift that was by the Red Wings top unit.
And Ken, what's huge right now is the Red Wings have been able to make a line change, and the Sabres haven't. They're out there against a bunch of tired Sabres. Hopefully they can take advantage of this.
Here's Tatar trying to do just that. Tatar near boards. Walks to the middle. Fakes it back. Took the shot. Scores! Thomas Tatar! Oh, what a shift that was from two lines, and it's a 1-1 tie.
And that's exactly it, Ken. This started a long time ago with the first line of the Red Wings, Pavel Datsuk, Justin Abdelkader. And Henrik Zetterberg had a great shift earlier and were able to get a line change, and the Sabres didn't. And Tatar with a nice little fake here, continued moving in a wrist shot, goes past the screen Buffalo Sabres goaltender, but the Sabres are a tired group, unable to track that puck anymore. Not only the players, Ken, but the goaltender as well starts to wear down into early in the season. He just didn't fight through the traffic and track that puck very well, and Tatar ties it up at 1.
Well, we mentioned Tatar in our open tonight when we keyed out to him, saying he was third on the team with 24 shots, and maybe it was a sign of things to come. His goal the other night, and he gets another one here, so consecutive games for him. And after going 7 without one. The shots are 15-11 Detroit. We're tied at 1 with 6:40 to go in the second period. Ken Daniels and Chris Osgood, John Keating, and our Fox Sports Detroit crew with you from Buffalo, as Franzen took a shot that was blocked. Kindle. He'll put it right back in. Took a weird bounce in front. Look at this. Good opportunity there as Nyquist. The way pucks have been going his way, you figured, you know what, he may get a shot out of that. Datsuk tried to kick it back to Nyquist, and Datsuk gets shoved down to the ice. There's going to be a penalty here to Rasmus Ristolainen. That's about the only way you're going to be able to stop Pavel Datsuk, is to use your stick and knock him down. And that's what they did.
Ristolainen's going to go off for a cross-check, and Pavel Datsuk frustrating the Buffalo Sabres. It's hard to get the puck as it is, but when Pavel Datsuk has that puck on a string like that, using that big body, Buffalo Sabre player, nothing else to do but cross-checking. They'll be off for 2. But here's the goal that tied the game up at 1. Tatar doing a great job as using the Red Wing player as a decoy. And here a quick snapper through, and there we go, not battling Sabres goaltender to find that through traffic. And that's fatigue. Red Wings are in their zone for almost 2 minutes there. Not only the players get tired, run out of gas, but the goaltender does too. Didn't track that puck very well.
Tatar from Sheahan and Datsuk at 12:55. A few lines combined there. Red Wing belt tire power play. Zetterberg had it come right back to him. Down low it goes. Back in front it's moved. Kronwall keeping into Datsuk. Back to Kronwall, rifling one. Bounce back his way again for Datsuk. Oh, a stick up high. Caught Kronwall. Zetterberg turning with it. Put it in behind. Abdelkader reached in, and Buffalo able to clear it.
Well, the referee is right in front of that. Unlucky for the Red Wings, it was missed, and lucky for the Sabres. Surprised that he didn't catch that. But Cromwell seems to be no worse for wear. He's still out there right now, and This power play looks good so far. It's got to get pucks to the net.
Red Wings' third power play of the game. 3 shots in the first 2. Datsuk. Kronwall across for Zetterberg. Kronwall to Datsuk to Kronwall, and a shot. Loose in front of the goal. Kronwall able to keep it in because Datsuk pressured McCormick. Abdelkader in to get it. Won the battle from Tyson Strachan. Then Nyquist did likewise on Mazzaros. Kronwall for Zetterberg. Zetterberg again to Kronwall. Took the shot up high, and Neubert able to grab it.
Well, Girgenson's giving a high stick here, kind of a one-handed swat at Kronwall's stick. It rides up his stick, it hits him in the face. Now the referee's just beyond the blue line here, not very far away. And how he missed that, Ken, is a surprise to me, but unfortunate for the Red Wings. They would have been on a 5-on-3 right after tying this game at 1.
Kronwall just asked exactly that to Graham Skilleter. How did you miss that? Sometimes the referees will apologize and say sorry. Other times they'll go, get out of here.
Well, it couldn't have been more obvious. It was very close to the referee as well, Ken, and unfortunate, like I said before, for the Red Wings not to reap the opportunity of a 5-on-3, especially after tying it at 1 and really seem to be taking the play to the Sabres now.
Franzen hustling in. 10 seconds left in the power play. Sheahan's got it. Sheahan right in. Good poke check to knock it away. And the Sabres are back. As Sheahan tries to get back. Brought in here by Myers. Tyler Myers in. Loose for Girgensson. He gets bowled over and pushed out of the way as the Red Wings. Yurko came back along with the Kaiser. And Jimmy Howard able to hold off the Buffalo Sabres as the teams are at even strength, and that's where we'll be when we come back, all even in the game too.
This game break brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Kings and Canes in the second. Andre Sequeira finds Chris Terry a bullet into the back of the net. Canes take a 2-0 lead. Currently, they're up 2-1 in the second. Ken and Ozzie, back to you.
All right, Justin, Thomas Tatar has tied up this hockey game from Sheahan and Datsuk. Tatar with his 3rd goal of the season in 11 games in his career. Some pretty nice numbers. Better things to come. Long pass ahead for Miller to Anderson. Rifled one high over top of that 4-foot goal. Punched at center. Taken by Mitchell. Brendan Smith. Passed ahead to Joachim Anderson. With Miller and Glendening. Turning is Tyler Myers. Puck back to the Red Wing line. Off the change. Here comes Datsuk. Ooh. And he had the youngster Nikita Zadorov probably thinking, uh-oh. Zadorov just 19 years old. Former London Knight Junior. Red Wings safely up the near boards. Thinking that Zadorov probably grew up idolizing the likes of Pavel Datsuk, his countryman, and then able to stop him there, and Datsuk a near clean break. Molson off the head of Eriksson. Kronwall recovers. This will be icing against Detroit. Well, watch a Red Wings game in a premium suite with one of your Hockey Town heroes, just like I get to do, sitting next to Chris Osgood, Kirk Maltby, Chris Draper, or others. For information, 313-471-3051, or go to DetroitRedWings.com/Heroes of Hockey Town. You can have some ginger ales on that night. You just can't tonight.
Those are fun nights getting up there with the people up in
I bet they are. You'd probably love that.
Get to see a lot of die-hard Red Wing fans, and there are so many of those. It's a good time.
Oh, Zetterberg. flipped that one out of play, and he's going to go to the box for a penalty on delay of game.
Yeah, just an unfortunate play for Henrik Zetterberg. Just tried to chip that off the glass. I mean, this puck, the ice doesn't look too good here in Buffalo tonight. This thing just got up on edge, and Zetterberg chipping it over top of the glass, just trying to lead Abdelkader up the boards, who's doing his job to streak past Georges, get an opportunity.
Well, Zetterberg's got that beard going, but not for the month of Movember. He always has that, but Luke Glendening, who's out there now sporting the mustache for Movember, and Riley Sheahan doing the same thing. I know you'd need about 15 Movembers.
I don't think I have any chance of growing any type of mustache that would...
Nope. But all for men's prostate cancer, and
it's a good cause.
Good for Glendening and Sheahan and some of the others who are doing it around the National Hockey League. Many are. I always think that Henrik Zetterberg should just shave for the month of November. It would be like the reverse.
The reverse opposite November.
He can grow that beard in 5 hours.
And it is a fabulous beard.
Yep. Played by Neuvert. Being forced by Anderson. Stafford for Buffalo. Eriksson, Kronwall. Tough pass to handle. Gionta, pounded by Helm. Brian Gionta comes around to the near side. Ristolainen back in for Gionta, who got checked by Kronwall, and Eriksson sent it down the ice.
Well, that's just great aggressive penalty killing by the Red Wings, not allowing the Sabres any time whatsoever to handle that puck or even think about making a play. Helm jumping people, Eriksson jumping guys from the Sabres. Just a great job by the Red Wings.
Puck in behind the goal for Gergensen. Came loose in front. Glendening got one ahead. Staying with it was DeKeyser as Glendening moves down ice. Red Wing penalty killing in the season, best in the National Hockey League at 94%. 32 for 34 coming into the game tonight. Will now be 35 for 37. Or 38 now, 36 for 38 was Zetterberg out of the box as Miller carries on.
And they kill that off in dominating fashion. And what that does is gives you a little momentum the other way. See if they can get a goal here late in the second and take the lead.
Dozen seconds left in the second. Miller tying it up. Zetterberg in there reaching for it. And that will bring the conclusion of period number 2 in the books. There was no scoring in the first. 2 goals in the second. Brian Flynn for Buffalo and Thomas Tatar even things up for the Red Wings some 6 minutes later. Here's what's coming up in our MGM Grand Detroit second intermission report. Darren Elliott in the studio with Justin White.
Here come the Habs.
Welcome back to Buffalo. Your Red Wings tied 1-1 with the Buffalo Sabres. Let's get to the big boy play of the game. Let's look at the big play of the game. And obviously it's Justin Abdelkader, who's been great all season, takes a hit to keep the play alive and keep the Buffalo Sabres on the ice after the first line kept them out there tired. And this ended up what happened. Tired Buffalo Sabres team. Couldn't get the puck, couldn't track it. They're both deep in the net. Just as tired as the players that were chasing the puck around, and that tied game 1 in Tatar, who's been great all season long. It's been around the net. It's been buzzing around 24 shots this year. Most on the Red Wings. Was rewarded with his 3rd goal this season. Justin Abdelkader there, who's been so good for the Red Wings in all facets of the game.
And just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Pavel Datsyuk will come to center, and with that assist on the Tatar goal, Datsyuk with a point in every game he's played. The best stretch to start a season for him in his career, with a point in all 6 games.
I don't know.
Back to get it goes Jonathan Eriksson for Pavel Datsyuk. With Abdelkader and Zetterberg, finds Kronwall. Zetterberg, the shot. Oh, Kronwall tipped that one going to the goal, up and out of play. Not for Red Wing, but the new rules this year, it will stay in Buffalo territory no matter whom the puck goes off of.
And love that rule, Ken, that you just brought up there to keep that face-off in the zone, offensive zone. But good shot here, hits the head. Nervous and hits the back net. But it's a big period for the Red Wings after beating the Los Angeles King. The last thing you want to do is come into Buffalo and come out of here with no points and lose the game to nullify that big win at home against the Kings.
Speaking with Harry Neal in the intermission, I said, do you find, former great analyst and former coach, and I said, do you find that sometimes you play down to your opponent? He said, it's a lot easier to play down to your opponent than it is to play up to him. Well, that's true. Yes, it is.
See that time and time again, too. It's difficult. And Red Wings here, 19 minutes left in the third period. Got to be sharp. This is a big period to keep themselves in a good situation with a good record and playing well.
Face-off coming back into the Buffalo zone. Pavel Datsyuk with a 6-game point streak, 4 goals and 9 points on the season. He missed the first 5 of the year. That shoulder injury.
Brought to you by Connors in Paris.
Shane in the middle, Tatar to the left, and Nyquist to the right. All 3 left-hand shooters. Nyquist playing the off wing, so to speak. Has the puck now on his backhand to the forehand, and Neuvert got a stick down. And the face-off coming up to the right of the Buffalo netminder. Reminder to join us Tuesday. Red Wings will be in Canada's capital to take on the Senators. Coverage begins with Red Wings Live at 7. Red Wings and Senators Tuesday night on Fox Sports Detroit. Tatar to the line to Lashoff to Kindle. Oh, just wide. Lashoff moved up to keep it in on Flynn. McCormick as Kindle got in front of Delorier to take it away. 85-foot pass across for Sheahan. Back for Lashoff, who said he wants to improve the transition game. Going back to get the pucks quickly and get them out of his zone as fast as he can. He's been working on that, he said. Now tonight finally has a chance to work on it in a game. Game number 11 of the season for the Red Wings. They've won their past 2. 6-2-2 record the month of October for Detroit. The Sabres at 2-9-1. Both their wins have come on the road. Winless in 5 in this building. Sabres now in their 13th game, and they've scored their 13th goal of the season tonight. Yurko carries in. And Michael Neuvert calmly grabs that. And holds on.
Yurko with a nice opportunity for the Red Wings here to go up 2-1. Neuvert makes an easy save though, but Yurko, so talented, great offensive skills, great hands. Nice little snapshot here, but an easy glove save for the Buffalo goaltender. But for Yurko, it's just going to take a couple goals to get that confidence where he needs it to be successful in this league. A young player with tons of potential and tons of skill. It's a guy that's going to be in a Red Wings uniform for a long, long time.
We'll switch here the lines with Yurko out with Helm and Franzen. Nyquist, for the most part, had been playing with them. Trying to shake things up a little bit here. Find some scoring against this Buffalo team, which can defend all right on some nights, just trouble scoring goals. Nick Kronwall offensively this season has had a nice start with 8 points to the campaign and tied with the late, great Gary Bergman. for third all-time points defense leaders among Red Wings skaters, and it might be safe to say I don't know if Nick Lidstrom's mark will ever be touched.
A lot of records will never fall, and I think that's going to be one of them in that category. Nick Lidstrom, far and away in that lead, the number one spot for the all-time points leader Red Wings defenseman. Ahead of Reed Larson, who had one of the better shots in the National Hockey League of all time. A blistering, sizzling slap shot and great defenseman, but Nicholas Kronwall, for me, one of the most underrated defensemen in the National Hockey League. Very, very good all-round player.
Jonathan Ericsson, his defense partner, ahead to Anderson. Brought in here by Drew Miller. Into the slot. Giunta able to block it for Buffalo. Couldn't get anywhere as Datsyuk tracked him back. Brendan Smith. Datsyuk said, give me that puck. Dumps it in to Zetterberg. Lifts the stick of Georges. Second effort, got it to Abdelkader. Couldn't center it though. Abdelkader does it himself. And a save by Neuvert. Datsyuk got to the puck first from Tyler Ennis. And Ennis dumps him, trips him, no call. Drew Stafford for Buffalo. Reverse that, getting it around to Ristolainen. Rink-wide pass knocked out of the air by Stafford. One-on-one with the Kaiser. Goes back to the line to Josh Georges. Former Canadian. And Sharp comes back here to Mitchell. Stafford went down in the corner. Abdelkader to Datsyuk. Tough one to handle. Mitchell seemed to be hurt. He's been plagued by injuries through his career. Back comes Abdelkader. Giving it to Datsyuk. He's right in. He scores! Oh, and Datsuki and Dink makes it 2-1.
Well, when Pavel Datsyuk gets in alone like that, it's pretty much over for the goaltender. A quick forehand to backhand to forehand move, and goes upstairs and nerve with really no chance for the Sabres goaltender. Look at the quick release though, Ken, after that. He does the move, the backhand to forehand, but just a great play just to get the puck out here by Pavel Datsyuk and the injured Buffalo Sabre player, but Red Wings taking advantage of a nicely executed 3-on-2. Abdelkader, great pass into the box to Datsyuk, who's not going to make a mistake from there. So good when he gets in tight. One of the best, not only in the league, but in the world at finishing off opportunities like that to put the Wings up 2-1.
So make it 10 points now in 6 games played for Pavel Datsyuk. And how about Justin Abdelkader with an assist? He has 5 points his past 3 games now. A nice setup there from Pavel's wingman. So the Red Wings have their first lead of this game on their 22nd shot. They've surrendered just 13. Tatar, who opened the scoring. Tatar with Sheahan and Nyquist. And Jurko has moved off that line and joined Helman Franza. Kronwall. Red Wings in the midst of a change. Jonathan Ericsson. Jurko takes the shot and a blocker save made by Neuvert. Former Plymouth Whaler. Jurko in full flight with Helm. Helm was tied up in front. Stewart rang one off the crossbar in the first period with a goalless game at the time. Helm being checked by Larson. Johan Larson watching Helm, who pushed it around to Franzen. For Helm, quick shot went wide. Franzen making his return tonight. Andre Nestrasil, the healthy scratch for the first time. Tap back there in back of the goal. Centering one. Oh, and caught a bit of the iron. On the right post behind Howard. On a chance for Hodgson. Helm all alone at center was checked by Georges. Tyler Myers for Buffalo. Across center and into the Red Wing zone it goes. Girgensons lost it. Went off the skate of Ericsson up front. Howard down. Puck's loose. Red Wings able to clear it away. Courtesy of Datsyuk is away now with Zetterberg and Abdelkader. Datsyuk up the middle. Zetterberg to his right. Zetterberg's got it, pulls to the forehand, and a save made by Neuvirth. So the Red Wings have their first lead of the game thanks to the Magic Man. It's 2-1.
Welcome back to Buffalo with the Red Wings up 2-1. Courtesy of Pavel Datsyuk. Great defensive posture by Pavel Datsyuk. Grabs a puck, a quick pass to Abdelkader, who makes a nifty pass into the box, and Pavel Datsyuk isn't going to make a mistake with that. Not with those hands, not with that skill. Putting the Red Wings up 2-1.
Red Wings with all 7 shots in the third period. It's been 10 minutes and 49 seconds since Buffalo's last been credited with a shot. Girgensons at 15:54 of period number 2.
And going into the last game, that's what most impressed me as well. The poise of the Red Wings defensively, very, very good.
Here's Datsyuk again, went off his stick. Tried to make the play to Zetterberg. Got it back again though. Eriksson to Kronwall. Whacked out of the air by Zetterberg. Abdelkader coming back quickly. And the Red Wings have their skating legs here in the third. And remember, the Sabres played last night in Pittsburgh. And it took Detroit a while to get going tonight. Abdelkader. Neuvirth will just hold on.
The Sabres are having all kinds of troubles against this top line for the Red Wings. Datsyuk, Zetterberg, and Abdelkader. A little bit too much to handle for the young Sabres right now. And they're rested, and the Sabres are becoming fatigued from last night's game in Pittsburgh where they were down 5-0, but Zetterberg and Datsyuk are now taking control of this game here.
Abdelkader with 3 more shots tonight, giving him 29 behind only Henrik Zetterberg on the Red Wings. With an assist tonight. Neuvirth to hold on again, so they'll do it all over again. Don't miss the action. Coming up Friday, November 7th, when the Red Wings return home to face the Devils. Military Appreciation Night. Every fan at the Joe gets a military dog tag. For tickets, DetroitRedWings.com or call 313-471-7575 during normal business hours. Tyler Ennis couldn't get it out, and Neuvirth says enough of face-offs. Sheahan kept it in again. The Sabres do have trouble moving the puck out of their own zone. It's a young decor for the most part. And this has been their trouble all season.
Neuvirth looked like he'd had enough of that. He's going to try it himself with the rim around Robors, and that didn't work either. But the Red Wings are poised in defensive position. They're in the right spot at all times, and the Sabres are having difficulty just getting out of their zone right now.
You can hear the fans. It's as loud as they've been all night, except for the goal. He's despondent on the lack of exit power from a defensive standpoint. Now they're in the Red Wing zone. That shot hit a body in front, didn't get through to Howard. The other one that rolled into his crease, Sabres weren't credited with a shot. Red Wings now with 9 shots this period to none for Buffalo. Kindle with Lashoff. Kindle up the middle. He'll rim it around. Glendening goes after it. Hit by McCormick first. Up high and off the glass. Played by Delorier. Mazzaro's through the middle. Back for Nicolas Delorier. Former LA Kings third-round selection. Skated out by Helm. Says he's getting the legs back better by the game, and Franzen just offside. Ahead of Darren Helm and not done mixing it up yet. Franzen and Cody McCormick.
Here's a big play with the score, 2-1. Shot comes through and Anderson hits the Buffalo player in the chest. Probably wouldn't hit the net anywhere, but the Red Wings have been good positionally, defensively, not only in the neutral zone, but in their own zone, outnumbering the Buffalo Sabres. Look how quick Brendan Smith and the Red Wings get on that loose puck. It's like rebounding in basketball. Very, very important, not giving the Sabres another opportunity. They've been very good this year, not only at moving the puck out of their zone with their young defensemen, but clearing people from in front of the net and getting pucks out of there quick. So one of the reasons why they've been so good so far this year.
Darren Helm won that face-off from Hodgson. Ristolainen for Buffalo. To Larson. Mishandled it. And again, Neuvirth had to come out to help out Johan Larson, his player who lost the puck.
The Red Wings are doing a good job of playing smart hockey here in the third period, up 2-1. Here's a chance by the Red Wings. Just can't get a handle on that. Neuvirth comes out and jumps on this early. He's had to do this a lot in the third period with the Red Wings attacking and spending most of the time in the Buffalo Sabres zone. That's what the Red Wings want to do. They had a turnover by Smith, but after that, they've been very, very sharp.
Well, Buffalo somehow, Chris, has been credited with a shot. We're not sure where it was. Unless they thought the one that hit Stafford in front was on, but we're on second thought another one somewhere. But at any rate, there for sure is one. Their second officially of this period. It's a 9 for Detroit. Well, tonight, don't miss Fox Sports Live as they bring you news and highlights from around the NHL, the NBA, the latest from college football, and the NFL. Watch Fox Sports Live on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Datsuk wins that face-off from Brian Gionta. And comes up with the puck. And lifts it just under the score clock at center for Abdelkader. Red Wings tagged up as Smith shot it in. Tyler Myers stripped of the puck by Zetterberg. Went into the slot. Myers with it again for Gionta. Gergitz had it knocked out of the air by Brendan Smith. Zetterberg back but knocked down with a high stick. Just past the halfway point. Third period. Red Wings in front.
All right, welcome back to Buffalo. In case you missed it, let's recap the goals tonight. Buffalo Sabres taking a 1-0 lead here on Friend's goal. Chipping over top Howard, and Thomas Tatar came back with a nifty little move here at the blue line. Faking out the Sabres and a quick shot through the screen to tie the game at 1. That was Tatar's third of the season in the third period. And there he is, Pavel Datsuk. Nifty pass to Abdelkader. Nice little sauce pass to middle, and he ain't gonna miss from there. He never does. Pavel Datsuk putting the Red Wings up 2-1 with a nifty backhand to forehand move.
That's where we stand with 9:40 to go in the third period. Chipped in by Tatar. Strachan failing to pick it up was Mitchell. Strachan again. Tyson Strachan. Checked by Tatar to Nyquist. Gus Nyquist put it into Sheahan off his boot to his stick. And a good attempt there by the Red Wing big centerman. Strachan will try the other side as Cronwall stepped up on Ennis. Back to get him. Eriksson for Sheahan. He'll go off now and leave it. The Red Wings are changing. Franzen circling and has the puck. For Helm. Yurko to the goal. Helm waited too long and was checked. Strong play coming back by Brian Flynn. He's got the only Sabres goal, as Chris showed you. Yurko chipped it out. Here goes the speed of Helm. Helm turning. He's got some help. Yurko to the goal! Great setup and just missed it, Thomas Yurko. To Kaiser. For Helm, to Franzen. This line's had some good chemistry tonight.
Darren Helm is playing very well. This is the best he's looked all year. Speed-wise, skating very good, but now shows some intelligence. Wastes just enough for Yurko to become open backdoor. Does a very, very good job. And then the Sheahan opportunity. These guys play soccer before the game, each and every game, and use that to his advantage. They're kicking that puck to his forehand and getting opportunity on the Sabres net.
Do you like his Movember look?
I think he's the leader of the pack right now. He's number one. Obviously, Hank's beard. Not a lot of guys can make that look great.
He's disqualified. I mean, it's just always.
For too good looking, is that what you're saying?
I didn't, but I was just thinking already there. Picked up by Abdelkader on the steal. Save made off a Zetterberg attempt by Neuvirth. Again, Justin Abdelkader becoming quite the playmaker.
That's confidence he has right now. And everybody always says, well, he's playing with Pavel Datsyuk and Henrik Zetterberg. Well, you know what? He's learned to play with these guys, and not everybody can do it. Does a very good job here. And Ken, you're right, he is the playmaker there, driving the net, carrying some Sabres on his back, and a nice little chip pass over to Zetterberg. And opportunity on the Sabres net, once again foiled by the netminder, but the Red Wings really taking to the Sabres here in the third period.
Joachim Anderson. Glendening. Glendening still with it. De Kaiser goes back to retrieve. Forced there by Stafford. Got it ahead and safely out to center. Sabres cough it up at center ice. Anderson couldn't make the play though to Glendening. Drew Stafford for Buffalo. Up with Ennis. Brendan Smith. De Kaiser had to hurry. Puck popped off his stick. Ennis put it toward the goal. Howard sticked it aside. Mitchell couldn't corral it for Buffalo. Brendan Smith feathered it along. Strachan able to keep it in for the Sabres. Taken to the boards by Joachim Anderson. Anderson able to come up with it, but the Sabres recover in front. Oh, Jimmy Howard! Hits loose a score! Stewart may have his first of the season.
The Sabres tying it up 2-2. The Red Wings, who have been so solid up to this point. A couple of soft plays in their own zone led to this goal. Had possession more than once, and Sabres taking this to the net hard. And Jimmy Howard getting a piece of it, but not enough. It's a trickled across the line, but Brendan Smith with the soft play right there. It had to be hard. Now the Red Wings are tired. Anderson's tired. The Kaisers have been out there for a while. Sabres rolling the puck around deep. They have the puck again and give it back to the Sabres once again, and this time it costs them. The Sabres tied up 2-2. Just got to be stronger on that puck at all times.
So Buffalo's tied the game at 2. 4 shots this period. They have themselves a goal. Red Wings have outshot them 29-17 for the game.
Buffalo's second goal, his first of the season, scored by number 80, Chris Stewart.
Here they are again. And a save by Howard. At the Laurier had that chance.
Number 24, Tyson Strachan. Stewart, Ennis and Strachan at 13:08.
Ennis and Strachan assisting.
Well, here's how it was tied up here. The Red Wings. A couple of giveaways led to this, but Howard with the initial save and a ricochets off Smith's leg. An unfortunate break for the Red Wings, and Trickles is just inside that right post to tie it at 2, but 2 plays previous to that where the Red Wings should have been better with the puck. They have been all night long up until that point, and that cost them to tie this game at 2.
Franzen got it as far as center. Yurko would get it. So this line here in the third period's had some opportunities put together later in this game. Yurko joined them and Nyquist left them. Yurko's got it again. He got dumped. Played out to center by Ristolainen, and Kindle frees it up for Yurko. Neuvirth taking no chances. Under 6 to play in the third of a 2-2 tie in Buffalo.
Welcome back to Buffalo, and just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And Pavel Datsyuk, who's been so good for 6 games, 10 points in 6 games and a 6-game point scoring streak here. Nice pass by Advocator, then the finish by the Magic Man. No goal in this league is stopping that. That put the Red Wings up 2-1 temporarily before the Sabres tied this at 2.
Datsyuk won that draw to De Kaiser. Tipped. Oh, it changed direction. Neuvirth didn't see it till it hit him. Or maybe just felt it and never saw it. At any rate, he held on to it.
Well, This puck came through a lot of bodies. Seeing eye shot. A little bit of flutter. Had no idea where it was. Hit him in the arm. A lucky break for the Sabres goaltender.
Puck's loose. Datsuk got a stick on it. Datsuk got to Zetterberg. Datsuk with it. Little head fake, then lost it. Georges with it. Icing against Buffalo. Pavel Datsuk has been tremendous on faceoffs here tonight. Ennis carries into the Red Wing zone. To Stafford. And Howard will hold on.
Well, the Sabres seem to have gotten a little bit of their mojo here after tying this game at 2. We had some opportunities on Howard to go ahead 3-2, and Jimmy Howard making that look easy. Square to the puck. 0 rebound given up by Jimmy Howard, and that's the importance of that save right there. You don't want that puck bouncing back out and giving the Sabres an opportunity to take the lead in this game late. Red Wings got to get back to getting pucks deep and get some traffic like they have for the most part in front of the Sabres goaltender, but it's a big 4 minutes. They want to keep winning games here, keep this streak alive.
Good effort there to try to take it away by Glendening. Lashoff missed it, and he went for Glendening up the middle, but Nicolas Deslauriers was there first.
Yeah, if you're Brian Lashoff, you probably don't want to go to the middle with just 4 minutes remaining in this game, tied at 2. Could have made a better decision with that. Either eat the puck in the corner, wait for some help, or just chip it up the boards and create a battle with your forward and defenseman on the sideboards and try to win that board battle and get it out. That's going to get you in trouble, especially at this junction of the game.
Here's Anderson. Save made by Neuvert. To Kaiser. Red Wings in the midst of a change. Helm's out with Yurko and Franzen, who wants the puck. Went for him, didn't get there though. Then Helm got bumped hard at the line, sent to the ice by Zadorov. Strachan makes those nice subtle little plays. Getting it ahead to Girgensson. He played for Teddy Nolan in the Olympics with Latvia. Perhaps the Latvians' best player. Comes back to the point. Mazaros. Kindle went down. Yurko, bad bounce there for Detroit. As Girgenssen's in another chance. Helm across center. Going in after his own shoot-in. Mazaros a turn. Heads up ice with it. Feeds off. Ristolainen. For Drew Stafford. Datsuk stole it. Then knocked it down. Carries on with it. Great feed to Zetterberg. He's right in the goal. And a save by Neuvert. Zetterberg, Kronwall partially fanned on it. And as Kronwall moved in, good effort to get back to the line to keep it in. Datsuk, puck hopped on him. Feathered one back to the line though. Hit a body in front as Eriksson let it go. Datsuk back in for Eriksson. Came right back to him again as Mitchell couldn't clear. Look at Datsuk make some work. Kronwall, Eriksson, one-timer, save Neuvert, big rebound. Tyler Ennis. 2:15 to go in the third. He'll just shoot it in.
Well, that top line is creating so many problems for this Buffalo Sabres team. And here they come again.
Datsuk going in a change as Zetterberg brings it in. To Abdelkader. He's got all time, but shot it out of play. Now, if Abdelkader shot it directly out of play, which he did, the face-off will come outside the zone.
Here's a great play by Pavel Datsuk to get this to Zetterberg, and he's so dangerous when he gets in tight like this, and Neuvert makes a great save, holding tight on that post, and Henrik Zetterberg gets a lot on this backhander, but the Sabres goaltender stays strong. And Abdelkader left alone. Red Wings again, this top line with Abdelkader. Very good, he just tips that high over top net, but a good chance to put the Red Wings up 3-2. Sabres goaltender equal to the task.
Kaiser leading Tatar, who shoots it in. 1:45 to go in the third. Nyquist looking for that puck as Tatar careful not to hold Ristolainen. Don't want a penalty at this juncture. To Kaiser. He'll wait. Red Wings will get another change here, so De Kaiser will back up into the trapezoid area behind a Jimmy Howard. Franzen carries out of the zone with Yurko and Helm. 3-on-3. Franzen shooting one. Saved by Neuvert. Up the near boards. Goes off the stick of Eriksson. Chased by Molson. Jonathan Eriksson lead pass. Just missed Yurko. And Neuvert taking no chances, as you'd think he wouldn't at this stage of the game with the young Sabres blue line.
Tonight's hard hits are brought to you by Timberland Pro. How are you going to slow down Darren Helmel? He's been skating great tonight, and that's probably the only way. Buffalo Sabres young defenseman Zaradov steps up with a clean, good body check on Darren Helmel, who's been skating great tonight. Probably the best I've seen him skate all season long. And that's the only way you're going to slow him down tonight, Ken.
I remember how much a camp he missed. It takes a little bit to get up to speed, even for him. Knocked down in front of Neuvert. Datsuk is back with McCormick. De Kaiser with Abdelkader. Puck bouncing around in the Sabres zone with 15 seconds left in the third. So far the Red Wings are from at least picking up 1 point. Abdelkader back here for De Kaiser. 5 seconds left. Shot goes off a leg and wide. So each team gets a point here. We're going to go to 4-on-4 hockey in overtime. So the Red Wings have a point in this game, giving them 15 on the season, and the Buffalo Sabres now have 6 points on the year, getting their second point at home, and each team will look for the all-important next one in overtime or shootout should we get there.
And the Red Wings really did play a solid third period, not giving the Sabres much, just a couple of soft plays in the defensive zone. And then Sabres really didn't have much opportunity other than that, and capitalized on those, on the one chance they did by Stewart tying it at 2. But Red Wings doing everything right other than winning in regulation. Hopefully they can get this here in overtime.
All right, the teams will change ends, and the Zambonis will come out for a dry scrape of the ice. While they do that, Darren Elliott and Justin White in our studios. All right, Justin, thank you. And here's the game summary. Red Wings at the wide edge in shots, but that's nothing new for Buffalo. But for the first time in a while, they've gone over 20 shots in a game, and did that by 1. And Pavel Datsuk, point in every game he's played this year. Neither team able to hit on the power play, but the Red Wings penalty killing continues to be outstanding, 36. .438 on the season right now. And these two coaches, remember when Ted Nolan, I don't think it's quite the scare now for Mike Babcock that Ted Nolan gave him in Sochi when his team, the Latvian team, Canada won 2-1 in the quarters. Mike Babcock's group did over Latvia as Ted Nolan was coaching them. Remember the goaltender, Godlewski's, when Canada, not quite like tonight by the Red Wings over the Sabres, outshot Latvia, Teddy Nolan's team, 57-16, and Canada won 2-1 in the quarters. Well, Mike, I don't know, it's something Teddy Nolan's doing to you there and tonight too, but that night it was all goaltending. This night, Mike will say our team had to come out and skate better, and they didn't do it.
That game that goaltender played that night was Dominic Hasek-esque when he was here in Buffalo, and Buffalo played an open style knowing they had one of the best goaltenders in the National Hockey League who won the MVP 2 years in a row, but what a performance by that goaltender. He almost pulled off one of the biggest upsets in hockey history.
Sure would have been. Yeah. All but 1980, I guess, would have been next close to that. Yeah.
Would have been a close second, I would think.
So, overtime as Pavel Datsyuk will take the opening faceoff here and wins another one. He's won 18 faceoffs of 23 he's taken tonight. He's 18-5. Pavel Datsyuk is in the draws. The Red Wings at 60% now for the game in that department. Overtime underway as it's left there for Datsyuk. Cuts to the middle. Still with it. Leaves it for Eriksson. To Datsyuk. Never a bad idea. Datsyuk turning with it. Protects it. Away from Gionta. Got hooked by Gionta. There's a penalty coming to Buffalo. Pavel Datsyuk can do that to you. He keeps control of it. Still with it. Out of the corner. Abdelkader goes after it now. Red Wings have Howard on the bench, so 5-on-4 in overtime. As now Buffalo will touch. Red Wings will go to a Bell Tire power play in extra time.
Well, this epitomizes the night that Pavel Datsyuk has had. He has been good all over the ice, every zone, everywhere. Now here, uses that strong body strength that he has, that low center of gravity to fend off Gionta, who has no choice but to hook him down. Pavel Datsyuk, so dangerous, even from here on the sideboards. He makes this quick move, nifty. Gionta gets caught on the wrong side. He's taking us to the net. Gionta knows it, feels vulnerable, applies to a hook. Great opportunity for the Red Wings to put this game away and win it in overtime.
So Franzen, Zetterberg, Nyquist, and Kronwall. And yes, Nyquist has been quiet tonight. Time for him to be loud. Nyquist has it. Back to Kronwall, to Zetterberg, Franzen in front. Kronwall shooting, and that went wide. And it'll pinball all the way back to neutral ice. Zetterberg into Buffalo territory. Fakes the drop back, keeps going around Georges. Pushes one along to Franzen. Myers got in front of him, and the Sabres able to clear it down. Look at a change.
Well, sometimes you give credit where credit is due. Myers doing a great job for the Sabres down low there. Getting that puck loose, and the Sabres going to get down the ice. That's big. The Red Wings got to get this back in, start getting some shots on net.
Nyquist brings it in. Franzen heads to the front of the net. Zetterberg left side. Back to Kronwall. Nyquist, backhand to forehand. To Kronwall. Plenty of room, Nyquist. Went through sticks to Zetterberg, to Nyquist. That was blocked in front. Another shot by Nyquist. Broke his stick. He'll go off on a change. Datsyuk comes on. Kronwall's got it. To Datsyuk, one-timer, and Neuvirth scoops that.
This is a nice save by Neuvirth. Nice read. Pavel Datsyuk got a lot on this puck, a lot on this shot. But the Buffalo goaltender has been solid in the third period and here in overtime. A hard slapper with traffic in front, and Neuvirth does a great job to not give up a rebound. And Nyquist probably should have shot that first one, but gets it back. A great pass by Zetterberg. Not one opportunity, but two. The Sabres selling out. Bodies on the ground doing anything they could to block the shot. They did a good job. You got to give them credit. Battling, fighting down low, doing anything it takes to keep that puck out of the net.
Red Wings have called timeout. Not a bad plan, no use saving it. At this point, still just about a half minute left in the man advantage.
And the top line for the Red Wings has been great all night, led by this man, Pavel Datsyuk. causing all types of problems for this Buffalo Sabres team. Their young defense, haven't seen the likes of this before. Datsuk, Zetterberg, and Abdelkader fitting in nicely on this top line and having opportunity after opportunity. And the Buffalo Sabres netminder is the main reason why this line only had one goal, and that goal by Pavel Datsuk. Could have been a lot more. They've been great all night long, opportunity after opportunity, and showing why they are one of the top lines in the National Hockey League at this point in time.
Pavel Datsuk's numbers tonight. He gets some help there from Zetterberg on the draw. So Kronwall, Zetterberg, Datsuk, and Franzen. Datsuk watched by Myers to Zetterberg, scores! With Franzen in front, they're waving it off. Oh, we've seen this too many times already this year. Abdelkader, when Datsuk had scored in Montreal, the phantom callback of the Miller goal on a Glendening penalty. And now this one's being waved off. Graham Skeletor will give us the reason as to why.
Number 92 for Detroit, established position within the goal crease, no goal.
Are his feet in the crease? That's the question. If he's in the blue, you're the goaltender.
If he's in the blue, the way they're calling it nowadays, and they're calling that no goal, and Franzen's body is completely inside the blue.
Yep.
Nerver didn't sell it like Carey Price sold it.
No,
Not
but they didn't call a
contact
penalty,
there.
just no goal and incidental contact, so 10 seconds left on the Bell Tire power play as Zetterberg coming in. We're in overtime. Each team with a point looking for the extra one. A huge penalty kill here by the Sabres as Gianta's out of the box. But the Red Wings have it. Zetterberg down low. Neubert the save. Whoa, Franzen right there. Now he checks his skates to see where he is. Zetterberg shooting. Franzen had to go off his leg. Franzen a wraparound try. Datsuk back in front. It's still loose. Datsuk's got it. Franzen tries to get his stick, and he does. Datsuk twirling around with it. Zetterberg has it. Zetterberg back of the net. Gianta forcing him. Zetterberg turning with it. Giving it to Datsuk to Zetterberg. Back of the net. Reaches in. Georges ties him up. Zetterberg still. What a dogged effort by Henrik Zetterberg. The Red Wing captain now Myers is on. 90 seconds left in overtime. Brendan Smith moves in. And finally, the Sabres desperately clear it down. Will this be enough for icing? It will be with 1:19 to go in overtime. Shots are 38-21 Detroit, but the score is 2-2.
Well, if there's ever a team in scramble mode, the Buffalo Sabres for sure were, and that's because of guys like this. Henrik Zetterberg, not the biggest guy in the National Hockey League, but strong, knows how to shield that puck with his body, does a great job giving Tyler Myers all he can handle. And Georges, who's played plenty of hockey against Henrik Zetterberg, but when he's playing at a high level like he is, he's difficult to defend.
Smith and DeKaiser on the back end. Tatar and Sheahan are up. Gergensons out with Gianta for Buffalo. Stewart turns back. 1 minute remaining in overtime. As the Sabres from their own side of center lift it down, but it worked well for them. Back to the high point. Mazzaros circling the goal. Popped it up there, and he's caught up ice. Flynn comes back in defensive posture. Tatar cuts to the middle. Dropped it back for Smith. Smith shooting, and sent it high. Tatar couldn't get it. 35 seconds left in overtime. Sabres into the Red Wing zone. Wide with it. Kristalainen. And the defenseman couldn't bust through. Abdelkader right in front of his own goal with 18 seconds left. Brought in here by Nyquist with Abdelkader. Nyquist just missed on the far side. Kronwall. Nyquist with a head fake. Nyquist is right in. He's hooked. Passed across to Abdelkader, but great block there by Tyler Myers to save an open net for Abdelkader. But back he comes, and he's going to run out of time.
Wow, the Buffalo Sabres holding on for that entire 5 minutes of that overtime. Nyquist, nifty move to get to the inside here. If that gets through, Zablocator, that's a for sure goal, and Myers doing a great job to stay at home and defend that. Nyquist again shooting the stick side. Bird had a great chance, just missing by a couple inches, but scoring chances in overtime. Detroit dominating in the Sabres zone pretty much for the entire 5 minutes of that overtime. Detroit with 5 shots. Buffalo not registering a single shot on net in that overtime. The Red Wings playing very, very well in that overtime with 5 scoring chances. The Buffalo Sabres goaltender playing great hockey, especially on that penalty kill. And the Sabres were unable to even get a single scoring chance on net against Jimmy Howard.
Scoring chances for the game, 24-9 for the Red Wings, but we're in a shootout, and it'll be Matt Moulson shooting first for the Buffalo Sabres. Moulson still without a goal in regulation or overtime. Sabres record in the shootout, they are 1-0. The Red Wings 0-1. Moulson on Jimmy Howard. And Howard stops him and caught that with the trapper.
That save against Brown back in the LA game has given Jimmy Howard some confidence. He was so patient on that penalty shot by Brown. He showed that same patience on this. Moulson, a couple of moves. Howard not budging an inch. Stood his ground, making a glove save.
Here comes Pavel Datsyuk. First shooter for Detroit. On Neuvirth. And Neuvirth got a piece of that.
Pavel doesn't look like he's too happy. He looks as if he'd missed his spot where he wanted to shoot this. Just nicking the blocker. Neuvirth. Pavel probably wanted to go a little bit higher there.
So next for the Sabres, Tyler Ennis. Their leader with 4 goals on the season. Looking for the first one in the shootout. And he's got it.
Nifty backhand to forward move here by Ennis. This is quick. He changes the angle of the shot, which is just part of the move. And the second is, obviously, the shot was perfect just over the pad inside the post of Jimmy Howard.
Here comes Gus Nyquist with plenty of speed. Scores! Ties it up. Well, he was quiet in regulation and overtime, but not in the shootout.
That's obviously a huge goal to tie it at 1. Comes in, little leg kick, takes it to the backhand and slides it between the legs of Neuvirth to tie it at 1 here in the shootout.
Zemgus Girgensons scored his first NHL goal against Detroit. And has another here in the shootout. Howard can't believe it.
Yeah, he lifted his head to the sky and kind of hit his gloves against his pads, thinking that he had him the whole time, which he did. He went for a little poke check. You see Lundqvist do that. Jimmy Howard followed him all the way. Almost looked dismayed that had found the net.
So Zetterberg must score here, or the Sabres will have their first win on home ice. Fakes, and it's stopped by Neuvirth. The Buffalo Sabres get their first victory on home ice and their first win over the Red Wings in 9 tries. Their first win since October 13th of 2009 against Detroit. Final score 3-2.
And Zetterberg has the Buffalo Sabres goaltender here. Down, unorthodox, diving across. And Zetterberg could have went high with that, but had decided on this move probably previously. Most goalies would be in a butterfly opening up that 5-hole. The stick's not there. Instead, desperately dives across the net and makes a save where at first he doesn't even realize he does, but the Buffalo Sabres pulling away with a 3-2 shootout win here in Buffalo.
So not always the team that plays the night before is at a huge disadvantage the next night, and Zemgus Girgensson has the shootout winner in both Sabres shootout victories this season. They improved to 3-9-1. The Red Wings fall to 6-2-3. Detroit does get a point, though, as of a day off tomorrow, heading to Canada's capital in Ottawa. We'll have that one for you right here on Fox Sports Detroit. But a lot more to come here from Buffalo. Let's send it to Justin in the studio.